different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
Here comes the Mega Ball. You could win more with the Mega Ball. Pick 3 and pick 4 and you could get all.
Yes, playing Pick 3 and Pick 4 with the Caribbean Lottery just got more rewarding. Now you can win more with the Mega Ball. For just an extra $1, increase your winnings by $1,000 with the Pick 3 and a big $10,000 with the Pick 4. Don't wait, play today. Play Pick 3 and Pick 4 with the Mega Ball at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide.
You ready to win a little extra? Then get on the ball.
Must be 21 and over to play.
A pleasant good morning to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, to the regional and international diaspora. A hearty and pleasant good morning. Just to remind you, we are on your FM dial at 98.9. We are being simulcast on TVC Channel 40, Facebook, as well as YouTube. Just to remind you, our numbers, if you wish to join in on the conversation, bring something pressing to the fore. Our local number is 466-0989. If you wish to advertise with us, just to remind you of our sales office number, 466-9586. In the U.S., 1-718-285-6984 or 1-305-921-4619. In the UK, 0333-440065. Good morning to all our regular, new, anticipated listeners. Good morning. Quint, good morning. How are you doing? Happy to be back with you. Thank you for holding down the fort. When I could have watched, I tried to watch, but that was in between work.
Okay, no problem. I'm happy to have you back, and I'm sure the folks are happy to have that female voice and perspective. So you're welcome. You're most welcome.
Oh boy. As we head in to some of the topics that we have to talk about today, I saw an article, I must say, The U.S. says it has returned to Venezuela all 500 million of initial oil sale, and this article is from Reuters, and I don't know what's going to happen with that money, but the fact that they've returned it to Venezuela, I really hope it goes into good use.
Well, let's validate that report. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I hear it, but I'm not too sure.
Oh boy. And then, on the other hand, I saw an article. Well, I heard of it, and then I went and Googled, and I saw an article with 5 Caribbean leaders that stood up to the mega countries like the US and the UK. And I know my co-host over there, Quint, he knows his history, so I wonder if he can name me at least 2 of the 5 or all 5, because I'm capable.
Well, only one I'm going to be sure, and I might be wrong.
Go ahead.
Mia?
No. From way back, because I know you're a man of history. From way back, not right now. Yeah, we know Mia. We know Mia's the only one standing up right now.
No, I wouldn't know.
No?
No.
What about Fidel Castro?
Oh, well, that goes without saying. My mind didn't even go there.
Eric Williams?
I didn't know that as a historical fact.
Okay. Maurice Bishop? Well, we
Maurice
know that
Bishop,
one for sure.
Yeah.
How about Michael Manley?
I didn't know that as a fact. But I'm not surprised that he's one of them.
And Forbes Burnham?
Yes, that's another one.
Okay, all right. So we have a caller. So before we will continue, but we have a caller. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T. How are you doing today?
Grand Rising, guys. I'm doing good. Hortensia, Grand Rising, Quint.
Thank you.
Good.
And to the listeners. Now, Quint, I want to stress this. Mrs. Henry yesterday said that I'm going to paraphrase what she said. In layman's terms, she's saying, I am dancing abroad before I dance at yard. Now, Quint, I'm not new on the airwaves. I've said a lot of things over time, and I am calling for us to unite. When I speak and I talk about what is taking place on the continent, I'm being inclusive. I am speaking to us as a people, as a collective. And for Mrs. Henry to say that Gregory and myself is in the same boat, I totally disagree with that. I am aware of the scripture, and Journey is quoting scripture with events that have happened then, events that are taking place today. Now, Quint and Hortensia, I don't know if you guys are aware of some of the African president was in Dubai, and American Tucker Carlson interviewed 3 of these African presidents. Now, the president of Botswana, Dombo Boko, was asked a question, and by Tucker Carlson, there was an audience of people from Saudi Arabia, Americans, Africans was in the audience. Have you guys saw any of that?
No.
I saw that.
Not me.
I was perusing it. As a matter of fact, I think I have it. I think I have. I downloaded it. Yeah. But I haven't been able to listen to all of it in detail. I just was able to peruse it.
They have it in section on YouTube in about 30 minutes in different section. But Quinn, guys, give me a minute just to just read out a slight portion of what the president of Botswana said to Carlson. Africa is poised to rule the world. When Carlson cheekily asks what Africa plan would would be once it takes the reign, the president, Clint,
Yeah, I remember he spoke about the different aspects of their development in terms of AI and the different things that Africa will, be moving
yeah.
forward in.
Now, he said Africa would rule with fairness and the resources to be shared equally, that everyone should have prosperity. Now, when we look at the system that we're under today and what is happening with the superpowers, how they are going about, invading and kidnapping, people, President Venezuela, what's his name, Maduro. We're almost silent, and it's like we are complicit. Because, again, we tend to go along to get along because we are afraid. You asked the question some time back, Quint, what would they do if the Caribbean come together? Are they going to just, annihilate us here in the Caribbean? But you see, this is who we are because of fear. And when Journey speak about, I'm just going to backtrack on what Mrs. Henry saying, that Journey and Greg is in the same boat. Guys, I am not in the boat with Greg. Greg is in his space of believing. And Mrs. Henry is there too. I was there, but I moved away from it, guys. Because I'm knowing what has happened then. And like Journey said, they justify what they have done to us by putting it in a book that they claim is the Word of God. But they are the God in the book. Because, guys, if you are to look at the two deities in the book, God and the devil, ask yourself the question, who have done most of the killing in the book? And also ask yourself, can you see a spirit killing? Because the killing that was done in the book was done by man. And the very writers that gave us the book, they are the ones that have committed the killing. So they gave us fear to remain passive by telling us God tell them to go and invade and take land and take the spoil. And God was pleased with all that was done in that biblical book. But guys, Journey is also reconnecting to knowing that my ancestors, our ancestors, guys, were in harmony and we were thriving. We were achieving, we built kingdom and queendoms that these same people, these violators that came and took our civilization and created what, and they used our ancestors to build their empires. So, Mrs. Henry, Journey is not in the same boat with Gregory, or you for that matter. I've moved away from believing, and I am knowing. The wisdom of my ancestors is in my DNA, and it has been reactivated. So I'm not believing, guys. I'm knowing. Quint, I'm going to pause for now, but I just don't want people to feel like I am bitter. I have decolonized my thoughts, my thinking, from all that was put after blood and ink. Note this, guys. Blood and ink came into our space by the violators. When you know what they did to our ancestors, can you accept a deity that they call Jesus in their ethnicity and see how they kill black in America and Europe, and not ask yourselves, if their Jesus died for the sins of the world, why do they still continue to kill us when our backs are turned, when we're running with our hands up and they're gunning us down? In that ethnicity, because they painted a picture, and most of us have gravitated to the picture, this idol that they gave to the world that they claim Jesus. Guys, this is deep, you know. But for those who are in their space of believing, you know, I'm going to continue to speak my truth. Thank you guys for hearing me.
Thank you.
Okay. Everyone has when we speak, because I know I might not hear a lot of what people might say in relation to the things I say, but I'm sure people say a lot of things because I can guarantee you a lot of people don't agree with, some of the things I say and maybe the things I say them. So if I get someone coming back at me, I don't waste too much time. I try to deal with what they said and I ask, okay, so why did you say that, and see if I can look within myself and see if it has merit. Other than that, I don't really pay too much credence and let it get to me. Hello, caller.
Good morning to everybody.
Yeah, good day.
Good morning.
Yes, and greetings once more in Jesus Christ's name, the only Savior of sinners from their sins and from hell by the gospel only, through faith only, according to the Bible only. Now, if it is one thing that I agree with Journey with, is what he just said. We are definitely not in the same boat. And with that, I agree with Johnny very much, But I guess when you want to discredit a person, you just say anything you feel like. And that's what Miss Henry did. No, by saying we are both in the same boat. No, but my question, is this, and it's to Miss Henry, based on what she said yesterday. If Galatians, what does Miss Henry say about Galatians chapter 5 that says self-control is a part of the spirit? Because she said she ridiculed self-control yesterday, saying, oh, some people in the Bible who are of God, children of God, did not have self-control. So what does she say about Galatians chapter 5 that speak about
but isn't that a true? But isn't that a true statement, Greg?
Very far from being true. Because
hear what she said. You just said that she said some people did not exercise self-control. Is
no,
that
she
not
said some
true?
people of God.
Yes.
But that's true. Even today.
That's not true.
That's not true? Okay.
No,
Again,
that is not true. You can't name.
The emphasis is on some.
So,
Yeah,
okay.
that's what she said.
Hold on. Greg, so you think Moses breaking up the tablets, you think he exercised self-control?
Of course. And there was a
Jesus
message
worked so
in
hard
it.
on them there?
Look, this is why sometimes
No,
I
it's
say,
God who wrote them.
Look.
But there was a message.
Okay, God, Jesus,
There was
yes,
a message.
Greg, but did you think as a human being he exercised self-control when he gonna mash up all the work that man did so hard?
and eventually get punished for it, even though you said that is
No, he was never punished for it. As a matter of fact, yes, there was one time when he did act out of self-control, and he was punished for it because he sinned.
So when he broke the tablet, as Cortensia asked, was that not a lack of self-control?
No, it was self-control because it was a spiritual message he was teaching the people them that
look, this
man
just proves
in his unregenerate state cannot keep the law of God.
This just proves that.
But he didn't need to break up the work of God.
This just proves, Cortensia, that Greg lives in a dual dimension. He lives in a dimension where whatever he sees is right and the way he sees
because
it.
David acted out as well when he killed the woman husband. When he took him and put him in front, he may not have killed him physically.
That David was a willful action. That was not. That was a willful, calculated action on David's part.
Okay, so he didn't act out.
But was that not again a lack of self-control? Was he not supposed to follow? After all, the Bible said he was a man after God's own heart. So.
Yeah. Yes, and I would say he committed adultery with Bathsheba was to a certain degree a lack of self-control.
But even our own Savior, Greg, when he went in the temple and see all the nonsense going and he overturned the table, don't you think he went and he asked God for forgiveness because
was not out of self-control, because when people act out of self-control, as you see in those issues that you are bringing up, except with Moses breaking the stone, because that was God having Moses to demonstrate that man in his unregenerate self cannot keep the law. He always break the law. God had Moses to demonstrate.
Oh,
But
so
all
that's
these
how you
other
look
things
at
with David
it.
committing
Yeah, that's how
adultery.
we look at it. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
anyway,
everybody
finish,
sees
finish
things
your
differently.
finish your point.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, all these other issues that, for example, Moses striking the stone when he was not, David committing the adultery, all these acts of lack of self-control was sinful and evil and wicked. But when a Christian is in the fruit of the Spirit, which he always supposed to be in, based upon Galatians chapter 5, when a Christian is acting and bearing the fruit of the Spirit and acting in the Spirit, he does not lack self-control.
We have another call, Greg.
Yes.
So finish your point.
Yeah. So what I would like to ask Mr. Henry, is there a time when the Christian ought not, when it is okay for the Christian not to be bearing the fruit of the Spirit, part of which is self-control?
Is there a time when they ought not to be bearing it?
Is there a time when it is okay for a Christian not to be walking in the Spirit? And we know, based upon what Paul said, that self-control is part of the fruit of the Spirit, because the Christian ought to always be walking in the Spirit. And we see in the Bible when they got out of the Spirit, they sinned in their lack of self-control.
Look, most of the times to me, Greg just proves that a lot of these religious individuals are fanatics and they just live in their own unrational dimension.
But Clint,
are you
I would like to ask the sir, does Miss Henry have a problem with when Paul said my gospel? Because she seemed to have a problem when Paul said my gospel. She seemed to have a problem with it. Is she another time when Paul was wrong as well?
Okay, we have another call.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hello, caller.
Caller, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. No, you see how Greg confused people? Because then after a while, he literally had to come back and say, yes, they were acting out of self-control. Because at first he said, no, he wasn't out of self-control. You see how Greg will confuse people who are the unsaved, confuse them. Because look at David. When David danced till he left, he lost self-control. He danced out his thoughts for joy.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, he did not even stop to think, oh my God, I'm the king. Mm-hmm. He was so excited that he danced for joy. I already big up that one about Jesus in the temple being angry.
And exactly, and throwing the tables over, right? I think the Lord was so fed up he lost self-control at that moment, right? But then he probably went and asked for forgiveness, because if I'm going to teach people to be this way, I can't be turning over tables although I'm mad, right?
But look at Moses. Moses who brought the children out of Israel. I mean, how much time did he lose his temper?
Exactly.
The last time he lost his temper, he lost out. Because he only viewed the promised land. He did not get to enter.
He did not get to enter, but yet he didn't have,
because
he never lost.
His anger, he lost control.
Because you saw Greg's synopsis of him breaking the tablets that I think Jesus worked so hard on, is that it's just to show man that they continuously break the law. But I think he too had to repent, because God probably said, boy, I worked so hard on those, and you mashed them up.
Exactly. That was anger too.
Exactly.
He was upset. He was angry at what the children were doing, the people were doing.
Yeah.
But in any case, regardless whether you're saved or unsaved, we all get angry. We all forget about ourselves sometimes. Yep. Sometimes we have to remember that's what you think when God said David is a man after his own heart. You think it's because David was so holy and righteous? Yeah, exactly. No, it's because David recognized his ears. He recognized his faults. He recognized the thing that he's done wrong, and he didn't just say, "Oh well, I'm the king. I could do whatever I want." Exactly. No, David recognized I sinned, that he admit And that is why he said David is a man after his own heart, because David was quick to admit and recognize his fault and repented.
Exactly my point. And that's how I view it. That's how I see it. So I don't understand how he can come here and say nobody.
We all, the word of God says we all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. We all err at some point. So
even the mayor creator acted out that he said, I am not going to flood the earth again, when he looked and see what he did and wasn't pleased and the stench and everything else, and he made atonement. I'm not going to do this again. And he shows us that all the time when we see the rainbow in the sky. So come on, isn't that acting out too? But no,
we all have our faults. We all err at times. We all lose control. Cause then if you're not strong, somebody come up to you. I mean, we quote the scripture, turn the other cheek.
Yep.
No, tell me, right? I'm human. And if somebody come up to me and they hit me once, okay, I take it. They hit me twice, okay, I take it. And you just boxing me, and I'm gonna stand there and say, hit me on this side. No, after a while I'm gonna box up my fist and I'm gonna box you back.
Exactly.
Keep it real.
Exactly.
Let's be real. We live in a real world. If you're on my foot, I'm gonna stand there. You're on my foot. Can you please get off my foot? I ask you nicely. Can you please get off my foot? And you continue to stand. What do you think I'm gonna push you off my foot?
Exactly.
We gotta be real. Greg sometimes I think he live in a world in his own head. And he don't, to me, what Miss Henry said yesterday, she was so right. He's not a good ambassador for Christ, because Greg make God look like he's the hardest, meanest, evilest.
With the big stick, waiting to bang you.
Yeah, just waiting to crucify people, and that's not it.
Exactly.
That is not it. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. He came that we may have life and have it more abundantly. He said, it's not my desire,
that anyone,
God, that any should perish.
Exactly.
He said, I take no joy in seeing it. So, come on. Look me. Guys, have a good day. I'll continue to listen. God loves us all, and he wants all of us to make it. It's not his will that anyone should perish. It's just for us to obey. And even when we fall, come short, recognize we sin and run. It said better to fall on the rock than the rock to fall on you.
Exactly.
Have a good day, guys.
You too. Thank you for your contribution.
Well, I guess Greg really got...
Yeah, but
Greg
even
really
God,
got her riled up there.
God lost it, Quint, and then he realized and he said and he promised not to do it again. So we all have issues. Come on.
Anyway, we're going to take a bit of a commercial break. Before I take that break, for those out there who tend to complain that we go too much down the religious lane, well, you take what you get. You have a right to call in and express yourself. If you don't, and others calling and they hug the line with what they want to discuss, then what can I say?
Exactly. You didn't start the talk. You didn't start the talk.
98.9.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
The holidays just got a whole lot brighter with the new $5 Holiday Stash Scratch Ticket. It's easy to play, packed with $1,000 prizes and many chances for you to win big this holiday season. So go ahead, treat yourself, spread some cheer, and stack some cash. Play Holiday Stash today at Caribbean Lottery agents and vending machines island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play. Please play responsibly.
Oh, I
I've got this feeling to high-five the sun, dance in the rain, and have my scoop of fun. I'm on my way to flavor my day with something new, and I've got room for you. Let loose and live a little, get close and share a little, give in and taste a little. You'll fall in love with Creamery novelties. Love life and live a little, get close and share a little, give in and taste a little. You'll fall in love with Creamery novelties.
Enjoy Creamy Novelties ice cream, distributed by Rams Trading. Live a little.
It's just about 8:30 at 9 a.m. this morning until 10. We will have Minister Duggins in studio with us to discuss the progress of his ministry. So stay tuned for that. Once again at 9 a.m. this morning. Quint, we have a caller or it's just me and you?
We have a caller.
Okay, caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T.
Good morning, Hortensia.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Morning, Quint. I'm fine.
Good morning.
Yes. You know, Quint, I for one don't mind the normally we start out things with religious, some kind of religious intonation anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you can regard this as our morning thoughts or morning prayer, anything.
Morning devotion.
Devotions, yes. Because after all, it affects so many of us. There's a spiritual side to practically all of us.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that has to be addressed as well. I'm not so sure that we have experts on that. Really, though. It would be nice to have a religious expert, a pastor.
I don't think there are any real religious experts unless it's going to be an expert who knows the history, but not in terms of interpreting the Bible. I don't think there are any real experts in interpreting the Bible. They're just going to give their opinion as far as I'm concerned.
Well, okay, fine, but at the end of it, you think you'd want, at least we look up to people like pastors and so on to give some clarity and so on.
Not I. I don't. I think they have failed miserably.
Okay. Okay.
Not all of them.
Well, the majority.
Okay. All right. Well, but most people do. That's why they go to church and listen to them.
Yeah, because like you said, because of that spiritual aspect to us, we want to be aligned with something that we can believe in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't discount it. But what I'd like to say, though, too, I think, you obviously have been listening to complaints from your listeners. And there's one, well, it was Mrs. Henry, actually, I think, who said that, accused me of hugging the line sometimes. I'd just like to say, right, first of all, you quite skillfully manage the program, and when there's somebody else on the line, you often break in.
Yeah, I'd let you know there's somebody else.
Right.
And
okay.
it's very rare that two people stay on the line indefinitely, So.
Right. And not only that, I mean, I think you're like me in that respect. We don't like to just look at the superficial.
Yeah.
Somebody
and
call
I must admit, and I've said it on a number of occasions, I have a bias towards you because we can be rational and disagree and speak to issues in a more wholesome way. Yeah. So that's it.
Exactly. Right. You need that kind of you certainly need that kind of analysis.
Yeah.
And so on. Otherwise, it just become a series of one-liners.
Yeah, up and down here and there, never really having a salient point, never, yeah.
Exactly, right? Things are never really just black and white. Lots of shades of gray. And those must be considered as well.
Yeah.
So, and in any event, usually if I come in and call on a point that I think needs
ventilating. If I'm not challenged, it will be over in 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's because I guess it's the teaching habit of me. I tend to like maybe ask questions, probe, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Usually, and it's not just you. Usually, the presenter, the host, would engage me.
Yeah.
Right, and I don't see anything wrong with that. And
I'm sure that there are a lot of other individuals out there who are as articulate as you, but they choose not to call, so we don't know them.
And some of them do call, and when they do, it's always an exciting conversation. Like yesterday with
Agard.
Agard.
Yeah.
Right.
He amazes me because I like the way he thinks.
Yes, it's different.
Yes,
right. And lastly, I do, like I'm doing now, use the overseas line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody else, apart from Cleo, Mr. Welcome, and 1 or 2 others, would use that line.
Mm-hmm.
So it does free up the local lines for to call in.
Yeah. And right now we have another caller, so let me hear their voice. Hello, caller.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Good day.
Hi. I hope I'm not too late for the first topic you had about being angry and being out of control.
No, you can go wherever you want to.
Okay.
You can rehash
great.
something, yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I normally enjoy winnfm, and boy, it is a difficult task to get in sometimes, but I'm glad I get you this morning. I was on the road, so I couldn't address that situation. But the point that you made this morning, someone made the point this morning that Jesus was angry, and he probably was out of control, out of self-control. That point I'll disagree with. First of all, I don't think there's anyone who can be out of self-control and don't sin. Once you're out of control, whatever it is you're doing, it must be against God's instructions. For instance, when God spoke to Moses, said, just speak to the rock, and it can bring forth the water to give to water your cattle and your people. He was angry over something. And he went, instead of speaking to the rock as God instructed, hit the rock out of anger.
He was angry because the people, how they were using the manna and that kind of stuff. And so forth.
Yes, and he was angry. Yeah. But he said God's instruction was to speak to, but he was out of self-control and he smote the rock.
Yes.
And for that reason, God looked at it as a sin. When Jesus went into the temple and saw what they were doing in the temple, he was not out of control. He had a zealous passion.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I thought that, but I did not want to interject it because it's like saying you come and you see your children doing something wrong and you
wash the tail out.
Yeah. So
with love, you wash the tail out with love, and then probably explain to them after when I wash your tail out.
Yes.
So that part for me was not out of control. It was a zealous passion, which
not
we
every
all
time.
have
Not
at
every
point in time.
Not every time I interject because sometimes I just. But I'm glad you brought it back because now we can ventilate it, which is a point that McMahon was just saying. This is what we should do. Yeah.
Yes, and McMahon, when I jumped out of my car, he was talking about we all have some sort of spirituality within us. And I would tell you something, Quint. You are at a point, at a spot, where you can have influence over a lot of people. And sometimes, I don't always agree with what you say. To be honest, I don't always agree with what you say. Especially
I don't expect you to.
Okay, great. But what I want to tell you is that at a time like this, you are at an influential position and spot where God can use you to spread his word. And believe me, I am praying that you would get the change to use where you are to reach people for God. I know you said a few days ago that you believe in a creator, but not the God of the Bible. And I want that to change, and I believe prayer can change that.
Well,
The Apostle Paul,
caller, you can want it to change. I have no problem with that.
Okay.
Because I have, like I said, I grew up with a friend, best friend, up to today. And at one point, he said he was going to go to Christian faith. I'm sure he too wants me to change, but I told him it's not going to happen. And we interact. Last week, and I was over by him, and he doesn't push me. Or the only way I will have a problem is if, no problem with you wanting me to change, but I would have a problem if you want to bombard me every day to change. That is my decision to make.
That wouldn't happen. What I am doing and what I will continue to do is to pray that God would give you that encounter similar to what Saul had. You know, we talked about Paul this morning, but before he became Paul, he was Saul, and he thought he was doing the will of God by persecuting those who were not doing according to what he think the law stands for. And because of that, he think he was doing God's will, and he went and he persecuted people. But he had an encounter, and that changed him and changed the ministry of the gospel. So you are in a spot right now where God can use you.
I believe that I am being
of young
used.
people.
Caller, I believe that I am being used. Perhaps you don't like the way I'm being used, but I believe in a higher force. Look, you've listened to me, and I've said on numerous occasions, I don't understand. I can't give you all the answers to my life. I've been through so many things, you know, so I'm still evolving, but I'm here. How I got back into WinFM in a sense is a kind of a miracle because, you know, but I'm not going to go into that. But the thing...
I'm glad you use the term miracle because miracles come from God. And who
from
knows?
the Creator. You say God, I say the Creator. You see, I'm not going to deviate from you hold to your belief, I hold to mine.
Yes, until the change comes.
That change isn't going to come, my friend. Not with me. But I don't have, and I'm unlike Paul, I don't prosecute people for what they believe. I've said I've seen people, including my best friend, who Christianity has changed his life. If it's worked for you, go for it. It's not for me. But I don't have a problem with you keeping your faith and praying and hoping. There's no problem with that.
I understand, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Hortensia, I am praying for you also. That when you feel that they are out of line with the scriptures, you would politely say, but partner, this is what the scripture says. I wanted to do more.
All right. I'll try my best to do more. Thanks for the prayers.
You guys have a wonderful day. It is nice to get in. I've been trying to get in on some of the topics.
Well, it was good to hear your voice.
Mr. Agard, I couldn't get in.
Yeah, it was good to hear your voice. You're another one of those voices I love to interact with, so good to hear you.
Yes, nice seeing you too. You guys take care.
All right, you too. Have a good day.
Okay.
Thanks.
Back to you, Mr. McMahon.
Yes. Quinn, you can't be so adamant that you're not going to change.
I'm adamant.
You may say that no, but...
Look, I know me. I've
Mr.
said...
McMahon, when it happens, we'll all be happy for Quinta. We're not going to tell him he wants it, okay?
I've said people don't listen to me when I speak, but that is a problem with most people. They don't hear what you say. I have said, at a certain point when I was young and radical and almost, self-destructing, I took the time to do inflection. I looked into myself, I asked myself the questions, and from there, I started to evolve into becoming what I am. When it comes to religion, I can stand on that. It's not everything I can say adamantly, no, I'm not going to go there. But when it comes to the Bible and Jesus Christ, no, it's not going to happen.
Well, but you must admit that evolution is constantly is something that continues. That's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying too. I'm saying I will evolve and continue, but not to revert back to Christianity in any way. And why is it that people can't accept that when I accept them holding on to their Christianity?
Well, part of Christianity is advocacy, so you can't blame them for wanting...
Well, you see, because I know the history of that Christianity, and I know what it has done to my people for 400 years. You understand?
Yes.
And I never forget it.
Yes, but I mean that history was a point in time in a
But
long
it's still
period
happening.
of years.
It's still happening. Look at what the U.S. is doing now.
Yes.
Listen,
yes.
listen to
There-
listen,
there isn't
listen,
everything-
listen to
there-
listen to a lot of the preachers and evangelists in the United States of America, and they're still touting the man. They're still saying God wanted this, and God wanted the oil from Venezuela, and God this and God
Yeah,
that.
yeah. That's one of the contradictions, I think, in Christianity, where when bad things happen, it's at least they attribute it to God's will.
God's will.
That everything will work out in the end, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That it's His way of making sure that things are what they should be.
And
in the
and
end.
look, they say things.
So-
They say things, Mr. McMahon. Not just the Christians, but people say things, and they say it casually, and they don't understand that we who come from a background of 400 years and counting of oppression, we don't take that lightly. For instance, the Canadian Prime Minister, when he was speaking in that forum, he said something to the effect that we would like to go back to, I think, the old days or the old ways, and we know we're not going to go back there. And I take issue with that. You understand? Your old days and your old ways were when you were prospering from the blood and sweat and tears of our foreparents.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I don't forget those things.
Yes, but at the same time, with anything, even religion, even Christianity, you got to be careful that it doesn't consume you. That you don't get so dogmatic, and you say you're not going to change from your dogma, when in fact there may be something better, a better place to that you can come to some kind of agreement with, or you might feel better in another place that might involve moving from where you are at this point. That's why I say. That's why I say.
That's
you
again
can't
is
be-
another thing that people. I feel good where I am. I feel good about myself. I
where
feel
you are
good
right now. Yes.
Yes, I feel.
But,
and,
but
and it,
things are
and-
going to change, as you know. Things always change, and we don't know. if you-
Again, Mr. McMahon, why is it that you seem so adamant about me and where my life, when I consistently try to tell you I am comfortable in my space? I don't keep questioning you about your comfort in your space. I realize
I
that
know.
you have a certain level of
understand.
spirituality where down the line I think you might become a Christian, but that is not going to happen to me.
No, all I'm saying, right, Clint, is that you changed once, or you call it evolution or whatever, you can change twice.
I
Okay?
hear
And-
you.
and-
Look,
and that's-
you're saying the
maybe-
very
maybe
same
how
thing.
you're putting it,
You're
how
saying
you're
the
putting
very
it.
same thing that the guy before said, and I have no
Yeah.
problem with that. But where I have a
Right.
problem is if you keep being persistent and trying to push me down that line. That is where I
Okay, yeah.
begin to have a problem.
Okay. But like
Just
I said, the
accept who I
advocate-
am, just as I accept who you are. I'm
Yes,
not going
okay,
out there
that's
killing
fine.
people.
But
I'm not maiming people. I'm trying my best to
let
educate
live,
people in whatever way I can. I am not perfect and will never be in this realm.
Yes, but I suggest one last thing to you. that is a lot of people who say they're comfortable with where they are right now. It's really a defense mechanism against. They know that there are things that probably would be better, but want to resist it.
No,
I
but
just
you
put that
see,
out there.
and what you're saying is right, but it's not the case with me. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's not the case with me. I've delved into myself deeply.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I feel good.
But
I
then
get
you
up
have-
in.
you have a lot
get
more
up,
work to do.
I get up in the
According to-
morning. No, I don't. But again, how is it that I
Mr.
don't tell you you have a
McMahon.
lot to work to do?
Mr. McMahon,
I don't tell you you have a lot of work to do. I get up in the morning, I feel good, I say a prayer to the universe, I say thank you, I'm here. Sometimes I say, I question why I'm still here. what is it that you're pushing me towards? But that whatever I'm going to be pushed toward is not going to be Christianity. I can tell you that emphatically. It's not going to happen. And just accept it is my life, just as you accept your life.
The 5th?
Yes.
The 5th. Today is the 5th, right? Yeah, the 5th of February, right? 2026?
Yes.
Right. We remember that day.
You can remember it all you want.
So
you
Mark
see, you
Mahon,
don't
please leave
understand.
Quint alone.
You don't understand. I grew up in the church with people who I see where you might be good on the pulpit and you will convert a lot of people because you keep delving and you get to their weak point. But I've looked into my weak points long ago. I'm not perfect, but I'm not at a point where people are going to having me doubt myself.
Well, you know,
I doubt myself.
Quinn, that's a great start. I'm not perfect. And
But
you
don't
know
I
about
always say that?
You know, right? But you also know about the relentless pursuit of perfection. If you admit that you're not perfect, I say it's a start because I assume that you know there are things that need changing. Is that correct?
Things like
the mere fact that
things like
the mere
what?
fact that you
Let me tell you where my perfection would head into. I wish that I knew so many things that I don't know in terms of the universe. I have books and books and books on the stars. You know, when I was young, I studied. I could have named out the different constellations and that kind of stuff. I delve into galaxies and Milky Ways and black holes and quantum physics and that kind of stuff. My elevation towards perfection is not going to take place in this life, in this realm as a human being. It's gonna advance in another dimension and move perhaps into other dimensions.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at least you realize that it's gonna advance, as you put it, or change, and that's the. I mean, once you admit that it's not perfect right now, and it can possibly change regardless of what direction, that means that you are on the way, on the way to use an expression that we hear a lot around here. You're on the way to something better.
And
right?
this is the problem I have with the world, that you deal with people who, no matter what you say, they never accept what you say. They're always trying to move you down a path that, if this is why people who do not have a strong will, they eventually succumb because you make them doubt themselves. You understand? You keep going and keep going, and you never stop.
But just like you, Quinn, people have convictions as well.
But I'm saying to you,
there's
Mr.
nothing
Mark
wrong.
Mahon, I'm saying to you, Mr. Mark Mahon, you've delved, and at what point will you stop delving now and let's move onwards?
Okay, Quinn.
Okay.
I guess it's the debater in me that
I hear
wants
that,
to
and the
come
teacher
to some
in
kind
you
of
too.
conclusion.
Yes.
Well, today I don't think you're going to get that conclusion, so you should stop
No,
while you're
I
ahead.
know. Look, Quinn has made that perfectly clear.
Mhm.
That's not going to happen
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
That's why I noted the date.
Okay.
Okay.
With regards, I'm sure you saw the impasse between United States and St. Lucia, and the statement issued by the U.S. Embassy. Does that remind you?
Is that true? Is that true? Because I'm still trying to find. I've been looking up and down. I haven't found anything other than the article.
Issued a statement. Yeah.
And if it is, and I said to
Okay,
her
let me
when
see
she
if I can
told me
find it.
about it, I said to her, well, if that is the case, it just shows how our leaders, as I've said before, they show and are ready to capitulate even before you approach them, if it is true.
Well,
But why would he lie like that if that's the case?
Apart from that, though, it shows the kind of diplomacy that the U.S. has practices now and maybe has always practiced. Because you know what I thought when I saw it, it back to that time when I think he was press secretary then, Erasmus Williams, said that the removal of the place of birth, passports, was at the behest of the United States.
Yes.
And and within a day or two, they came out with a statement saying no. Okay, and this is exactly. So, at that point, at that time, I said, how you Erasmus? That's not
Come
like
to that
Erasmus
conclusion,
to make a bold announcement like that if something was not true. And this is again a case of that, I think.
Yeah.
Why would the Prime Minister of St. Lucia
lie like that?
make that? Yes.
Because I'm looking at it, and we're gonna soon have to think, because it's fast approaching 9:00. Yes. I look at it like this: because of what he had heard from other leaders in terms of certain implied pressure from the U.S., he assumed perhaps that it's going to be coming to him, and he tried to preempt it in front of his people by saying, well, the United States is demanding this and demanding that, and it has not really reached to him. So he was, in a sense, sending a signal to the U.S., well, whenever you come with that, I'm already ready to comply. That is why I said they're showing signs of capitulating even before you approach them.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. The other way is, of course, that they did, or some of them, in fact, discuss that matter with him, and it may have been put in terms like, it probably would be better for St. Lucia if they stopped training their personnel in Cuba. And so that gave them wriggle room, so to speak. But all I'm saying is it seems as though they came out with this statement, and the response by Pierre to it was no comment. But I understand the U.S.'s position. Now, that I think was diplomatic of him to put it like that. He didn't say that they were lying. Okay.
Another side to that we need to look at, and that's why I often say we must never forget our history as a people, right? And this is the side. Remember, the most successful tactic used against us as a people has been the divide and conquer.
Exactly.
And remember again that the U.S. is a hegemony. They have power. So they can come and say to your face one thing, and then when you come out and you say it, and they want to embed that divide and conquer, they can come and boldly deny it, and then what are you going to do?
Right. Exactly what Pierre did.
Yes.
He don't want, obviously he sees no sense in prolonging it. Okay, he's not going to say, but or give details and say, but this official or this memo, note, diplomatic note, actually indicate.
You have often heard me say, Mr. McMahon, that a lot of our leaders, when they go behind closed doors with these people, sometimes they go behind closed doors. There's a CIA operative. There's somebody, from the security regime who's there, and they whisper things to our leaders' ears. I've heard leaders, and if you go back, there are documentaries of they whisper in a leader's ear and say, "You better do what we say, or else we are going to take you out."
Even when the way he said it.
And then when you go out in front, you have to find a way to disseminate something to your people that is palatable.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But as it is right now, what you have is that people have to either believe the United States or believe Pierre, what he said initially, and because you see, I think what may have happened too is that the U.S. realized the backlash in terms of the opinion in this region as to something like that.
Because it just isn't right, Mr. McMahon. It just isn't right. It smacks in the face of democracy and independence and autonomy. It smacks against it.
Yes.
Continue another time, though.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you for your understanding.
You ever hear earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee. Yes, it's me." Remember, DCH. Drop,
Cover, hold on. Glass we
All your investment, you see, TDC, you go to all your customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
The holidays just got a whole lot brighter with the new $5 Holiday Stash scratch ticket. It's easy to play, packed with $1,000 prizes and many chances for you to win big this holiday season. So go ahead, treat yourself, spread some cheer, and stack some cash. Play Holiday Stash today at Caribbean Lottery agents and vending machines island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play. Please play responsibly.
Oh, I've got this feeling to high five the sun, dance in the rain, and have my scoop of fun. I'm on my way to flavor my day with something new, and I've got room for you. Let loose and live a little, get close and share a little, give in and taste a little. You'll fall in love with creamery novelties. Love life and live a little, get close and share a little, give in and taste a little. You'll fall in love with creamery novelties.
Enjoy Creamy Novelties Ice Cream, distributed by Rams Trading. Live a little.
And it's just about 3 minutes after the hour of 9. As I announced before, we have with us in studio the Honorable Samuel Duggins. And as we conduct this interview this morning, we will let you know at what point we will be taking calls. So we will just start the discussion. You can follow along. You can have your questions ready, and we will let you know when. Good morning, Minister Duggins. Welcome back to our Island T Studios. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I am doing quite well today.
Okay,
it's a nice day outside.
It is? It's not hot?
It's nice and cool
Okay.
enough. I don't think we'd want to be in the position of Jamaica, Miami, and other countries up north.
A little freeze?
So
I like a little cold, so I can work
a
with
little
that.
cold, but it's very cold out there.
Because our UV index when I checked was very high, because I try to wear my sunblock every day.
So it's actually quite cold out in
All
the
right.
north. But it's nice and sunny in St. Kitts and Nevis, and I'm feeling quite good today. And I'm here on this wonderful radio station. I'm here on this program yet again. And so I'm looking forward to a wonderful interview.
All right. So let us start with the theme, which is people-centered development, strong systems, and measurable results. You want to dive into that for a bit?
Yeah, for us in the ministries, on my portfolio, we are committed to making sure that we deliver for the people. One of the things, I always said to people, once I decided to get into political life, right? I had one commitment: to expand on what I was doing as an individual.
Okay.
Now, if you know me, for years I've always been at the forefront of different areas of development for people, especially young people. Whether it was through the arts, whether it was through scholarships. To date, I have a 22 this year, 22-year running scholarship.
Congratulations.
Whether it was Island Expression, whether it was different promotions, I've always been an advocate for the underprivileged and those marginalized.
Okay.
And getting into office, going back even to my first presentation, I made that commitment to stand up and push for the underprivileged and the marginalized.
Okay.
And I think to date, we have seen resounding successes across all of those areas. And I'm happy to keep reporting on that success. And we had our quarterly press conference just 2 weeks ago. And in that press conference, we reported, as we do every 3 months, we report our work over the 3-month course. And I'm quite pleased with what we've been able to do over the last 3 months and over the last year, in fact, and quite frankly, over the last three and a half years.
Okay.
Yes. It's interesting. It's 3.5 years.
How I see you today, I see you have a big smile on. But you know, you'll have the naysayers that might say, oh, you talk a good talk. They don't see much. How do you rebut or refute such statements?
But it's there to see. And one of the things that we do with our press conference is actually show the images and the videos. And it's quite interesting to me that anybody who could look at a video, look at a photo, a real photo, not an AI-generated photo, a real photo, and say that they don't see it, then they have to be delusional. And quite interestingly, and you mentioned that, our people have to be very careful because I see people generating AI photos to tell people that real photos are just photo apps. How? So you mean that stadium that I'm standing next to is a fake stadium? It's not really there? You mean that sports team that is actually going overseas, not really going overseas? You mean the 3 West Indies cricketers that are not really on the West Indies? Come on. You mean to tell me like all of these things are not really there because you generated an AI photo? We have to be careful that you have these people trying to mislead you with nonsense, right? But the facts are there. When I said that we repaired the Newtown Stadium, you can go. When I said we repaired the Kim Collins Stadium, you can go. When I said that we built a stadium from scratch in Conway, you can go. And you can see for yourself. When I said that we repaired Basketball City, you can go. And you can ask the committees when the last time these received any significant repair, and then you'll know. So for me, facts speak for themselves. I've never been one for music. That's never really been exactly. That's never really been my forte.
Okay.
I do my work, keep quiet, keep a smile on, and just keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I know how you manage to keep that smile on now. So let's talk about the small business and entrepreneurship.
Yes. Now, that for me is one of the areas that I'm extremely proud about as well.
Okay.
What most people probably don't recognize is coming into office and having to create the mandate for something. We created that ministry in 2022. So prior to that, as a ministry, it didn't exist. You had various departments in different areas. So you had a small business development center in one area. You had a unit, an entrepreneurship unit in another area. You know, to be able to consolidate all of that and create a mandate for a ministry and set that ministry on that mandate and to see success. And it's only been 3.5 years. It's quite an achievement, I believe. You know, so we created the ministry, developed what it should be and how it should operate, put it on its mandate, and we are already seeing tremendous results. I think in 3.5 years, that is. So I must give credit not only to, because again, as a minister, I'm one part of a team, right? And you have permanent secretaries and directors and staff, and it takes all functioning for anything to work. Like, I could have the vision, I could have the idea, but if the team isn't there to execute on the idea, then you know, it doesn't work. And so I must commend the team. That ministry led by Ms. Taylor, and you know, she has been doing a wonderful job. We've had Leah Craig-Chatterton, who has been there as director, and we have a number of staff members who